Social media is awfully important for all of us to look at. And I'm going to explain why I believe that in a second. But something never to overlook is your website. Never, your website is still the single most important marketing tool that a small, mid-sized manufacturer has, far and away. And I want to tell you why. Your site allows for passive research. Remember a moment ago when I talked about the buying cycle? You know, a lot of times when people are selecting machine tools, for example, capital equipment or machine tools, the time that it takes and the people that have to be engaged in that selection process, that takes months. It takes months and it's complex. They want to be able to access information that supports their decisions to find access to the right technologies that's acceptable to all the stakeholders in a project. They need time and they want to check it out at their own volition. Having a website with a repository of information available for engineers, the people that you want to speak to, purchasing cats, technologists, design engineers, having information tailored for them that's accessible for them that they can access, duplicate, copy, and download for their own purposes is much more important. Understand too that the information on your website should be created in the form of an advocacy toolkit, because many people that you're talking to or want to talk to often find that information and share it with others. So you want to create that information in short bursts. You don't want to write long narratives on it. Keep it in short bursts. Create vignettes. Very short descriptions of the work that you do as a small, mid-sized manufacturer particularly, what you've done for others in other industries, with particular kinds of materials, on particular kinds of equipment, and give example after example after example of how you have made others successful. Because if you're being researched online, this is what information the people you really want to talk to are looking for. They want to find someone that provides a solution. And if you can show that you've provided a solution for others like me, I'm more likely to engage you. Instead, often, we find that small and mid-sized manufacturers come online and maybe they may go into social media. Or maybe they may create parts lists, equipment lists, a photograph of the company front door, or what show they were at recently. All important, right? But what they're really looking for ultimately is information about why you can rock their world, make them a rock star, and what you've done for others. And make it available in short bursts so they can copy it, maybe put it in a PowerPoint, maybe print it, yeah, people still print, and share it with other members of an engineering team so that they can collect it and hand it off to a manager or present it to a manager. That's how purchasing and sourcing works for contract manufacturing. And your site should be set up to be the hub for that. What is it that differentiates you from your competitors? That's what your website should do. It's not a brochure. It's the last step before someone engages you or not. Social media plays a very strong role for any business. For manufacturers, though, it's different. Because like any other business, like the consumer markets or what have you, social media is there to drive people in. It's to communicate, it's to build relationships, of course. But for manufacturers particularly, its strength is to drive traffic toward the center of your universe, your website, okay? Social media for manufacturers is very effective for that. But remember the short bursts. Remember the content decay. The likelihood that you're going to get a lot of traffic out of it, it's all predicate upon what timing you happen to pop that tweet out at. because it's going to get stepped on. You know, how likely is it that someone's thinking, man, I could really use a contract manufacturer for the aerospace industry in St. Louis right about now. Oh, look! Not likely to happen. Now, there are advantages. Some people, manufacturers and industrial marketing, use social media to boost search engine optimization. Again, I'm not here to get into that with you right now, and yes, it could be very effective. But I'd like to ask you this. When it comes to search engine optimization, particularly for industrial marketers, particularly for manufacturing businesses, small and mid-sized manufacturers, imagine you've boosted up your search engine optimization where you're at the top of a SERP. You're at the very top of a search engine results page. You're more likely to be found than anybody. And you've done nothing to create this advocacy toolkit. You're basically opening up the doors saying, hey everybody, come in and see how we suck. Because if you get more people coming into your website and you look just like everybody else, that's ultimately where you're going to be left alone or ignored, and you're never even going to know it. So again, consider this when you're jumping into or considering making an investment in social media. Your website is and will be for the foreseeable future your domain. It is the center of your universe, and you use social media, sure. Email marketing, hugely important. Online marketplaces and other online directories, other platforms where the creatures that you want to speak to congregate and lead them to your site. Participate in these websites. Leave your URL. Participate. Be a good corporate citizen to these people. Help them out. And every breadcrumb you leave is another pop into your website. But understand what social media is being used and not used for in the industrial space.